live.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Manners and respect. Manners and respect to each and everybody. You don't know. Yeah, manners and respect. I go say so once again, you know what I mean? Alan is nice seeing you, especially, you know what I mean? Like, hey, just maybe a week and a half ago, I was talking with you, asking you if you're all right, and like, you know what I mean? You just blew me up, you know? I guess you was in the middle of something, but you know what I mean? Nowadays, I don't even have to keep track of you, you know, because like I just have to look on my timeline and I know when you're out of quarantine, etc. When I start to see balloons all over the place, I know that's a celebration, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, special good evening to each and everybody who are tuning in. Welcome to the show called the Topics, and we gonna keep it raw and real and say it how it is. You don't know anything, go me alongside Alan Powell, yeah man, and Alan got a lot of things to talk about, and I want Alan say what he got say what's exactly on his mind. So talk the things up, Alan. Let me go. Let me grease this
Okay.
engine.
Okay. I just want to start off by echoing what you said because it's important that we let people understand what to expect from the show. You understand? So as you said, we're gonna be talking about the thing and we're gonna be keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the show. I mean, people might say, by how come Abby had to go on so. But it's a reflection of what is going on. Last week when I was on quarantine, I get a call Friday afternoon. And after the person check and say, well, by you go down what's not, they say, but if I now with the mandatory, you understand? They ain't get down to nothing of so Mr. Powell, what do you think about this mandatory story? Pan I want to know what going on because it's affecting the so I just want people know we're gonna be keeping it real with regards to what going on. Um First thing I'm gonna start off with
Uh-huh.
is I get a little more clarity with regards to the quarantine. You understand? While he's in there for 2 weeks, you know, you get to ask a lot of questions. You get to find out what is going on. You understand?
You get to
So,
meditate too.
oh, definitely, definitely, yeah. And let me tell you, Jason, I literally count the hours. I was in quarantine for 359 hours and 2 minutes. You understand? And some seconds on top of
Wow.
that.
Wow.
359 minutes. That's what you need to understand.
Are you not gonna help count them numbers then?
I tell you, all you got is time. All you got is time. So you got to reflect on what's going on. So, okay. I I I I was concerned by certain things which I had seen online on the website. So
Yeah.
I asked for some clarity. As for example, when you go up on the website, you would see the quarantine for what they call it, stay at home quarantine. Like when you go
Yeah.
one day, so you would also see the price. No, the price
True.
what you're seeing is $400. But then when you get it now, they tell you 550. So I would just you know when
Hmm.
you're going up, you see clarity so that you can know what's going on.
Yeah.
So why all is that initially the property was leased by the government, so the government could have set the price, but the lease done.
Oh.
So due to the fact now that the lease done, um, the original owner step back over the property, but it's still a quarantine facility.
And
So, but no, they could set their own price. So them man carry it up.
oh.
So that's how come now
Really?
that's what I'm trying to show you right now. So that's how come now it come to the 550. That's where the 550 come from. So
So you're trying
I
to tell me, hold on, hold on. So you're trying to
yeah,
tell me like you had in mind one price after now when you reach it, there's a next price?
yes. So I want that's what make I tell you I had to see clarity to find out now how come the price gone to this. Because then another answer why I get is that the website has not been updated for a while. So it's not really like some of the information is good. It's like a story.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell a story, I mean, you might call places in the story that are actual places, but sometimes in the story, you got things in the story that ain't real. So you got certain things in there. I like that $400. It's not 400. It's 550 if you're going Pat Works, and if you're going up by left building, it's 560. Because as I tell
Okay.
you now, the original lease done. Now, me don't know how you could have watched it in terms of. I think that if that was the case, the government should have leased them for a longer time. Because we know we don't watch COVID, and no, COVID is a long-term thing. So you could not have come in and try to lease them for 3 months. That wasn't realistic.
But not even lease them to, but even update you.
That's what I'm saying. So update the website so that at least you know the price has changed. Because you're not even would have had to give me the reason. At least I would have known that the price changed. So I know in my head it's 550 rather than come and then here is 550 because that's an extra. Remember, right now, as I tell you, they're talking to me in a lot of USA. But when you add on 150, that's an next $400 easy. It's an easy country I
Wow.
live in. Easy we working for. So it's $400 you really telling me. But me no know if 150 is so smaller. So it's easy to say another 150 US.
Well, and that, you know, that baby guy too. It's,
Yeah.
but that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Lack of communication. That's all I was saying.
That's
With
what
that, you know what I mean? Like, I come with a budget. You know what I mean? Like, you put in straight on top of me now. I got to pay extra $400 because of you fuck up. You check what my account from? Because of you fuck up, it cost me 400 EC, 150 US. You understand me? No, no plaster for that at all.
well, the plaster is they're gonna tell you it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And see, my argument was because I was told, well, um, you can't blame the government. And me nah say no. In terms of, well, I could say yes in terms that they should have leased it for longer because it would have allowed them to control the price. So they could have keep it at the 400. It would have been more reasonable in the longer term. But me not really know how the money situation there, so maybe they do it for as long as they could. They hold on as long as they could, and then they just doing this now.
Well, I could be petty. I could be petty here. You know, maybe the person who had leased the building to the government. You know what I mean? In their favor. You know what I mean? Maybe they're looking for a next building which is in their favor, so they could get it regulated for a certain price for their own benefit, as in like each one teach one. If you understand where I'm coming from, you don't really want to get into depth. You know what I mean? But fuck it, I will get into depth. Meaning like ain't no friend of them one and they work out. We can't see this person you're making money half a week. You understand me? So let them do what they gotta do, but we just gonna continue to advertise the location as a quarantine zone. But they have to regulate their own price.
Well, but then that means them I do them a favor still because if that was the case, then you would have let them do, you would have let them get their own security because right now
Sure.
is police guarding over there, and that ain't gonna be nothing from them because the police just basically I guess they gonna say them a do the job. They station them over there at a quarantine zone.
Oh, but look at
Whereas
look at the flip side.
you could have had private security doing that because I'm gonna bring some
But the
clarity, man.
reason, okay, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay.
No, go ahead. I was just about to say
Oh,
that. So go ahead.
okay. Because remember, you have an option where you could come home and stay home, you know. But if you come home
Yeah.
and stay home, then man would send like disaster management to see the property, and then they're gonna do an assessment basically, and then now you would be able to pay for security for the quarantine. But
Uh huh.
you can't pick the security company. They would
And they
designate
have
the
to pick
company.
it.
Yeah. And the price,
At
because
their price.
you buy the price because um I had checked it. No, somebody had checked it, and the price is nearly $10,000 if you're gonna do it.
Oh,
So you basically can't do it. You can't do
you
it.
giving me
It's
an
not.
echo. You giving me an echo. You got something in the background there?
No, me not got nothing.
Okay, just to make sure. Yeah, but $10,000, that's a lot of money, man. I could hire my own security. Maybe like
You can't do it. They ain't gonna allow you to do that.
shit.
They will designate the security. And another thing, you remember I tell you if you come
Mm-hmm.
in and you ain't gonna be released until Monday.
Yeah.
Well, it was explained to me that that is not fully the case. No, the lab don't open on a Sunday. But if you pay 400, like 150 years, the lab gonna open.
Mm-hmm.
So for extra $50, the lab ain't gonna open for 100 years. But if you got the extra 50, the lab gonna open. So that is the way how you could get to it on a Sunday. That is the only way. Outside of that, you got to wait until Monday. That's what ended up happening to me.
So you're telling me these people in the health ministry get a free machine and they're charging still?
Me not really sure if the machine is. Oh no, they didn't get some kind of machine for that. But as me tell you, is the lab don't open on a Sunday. Only way the lab gonna open is if you pay the 150.
US.
Yeah.
But I just realized that you guys paying to do COVID tests.
You're not paying to do the COVID test?
No, not up here.
You're not traveling yet, man.
I ain't, but as far as you know, like I read the regulations, like before you travel and all that stuff, you take a COVID test, but you don't have to pay. As
Well,
far as I know, I don't know if they update it. You understand me? But last time I checked, because I remember I had a friend of mine going back home. You understand me? They didn't pay for the COVID test when leaving, you know.
well, I pay for a COVID test in America though. When I was living in
Yeah.
America, I had COVID test, yeah.
Well,
Eh,
I don't know. Maybe it's different.
Yeah, well, I had to pay for it in America.
Okay.
Remember Canada has excellent healthcare. So you're in a different kind of system. The man does kind of look out for the people in a different way.
Well, nobody look out to me yet, you know, because me still gonna cash in my pocket. Yeah, nobody look out to me, boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
me don't keep close me.
Yeah. But outside of that, with regards to the quarantine, um, but you just got to get in your stuff. Because I also find out that the day when you're coming, your people could come to the site itself and
Hmm.
start the things. Yeah. So you ain't even really got to check disaster management for that. So if you're coming, the day when you come, you could get your people them to come already and start to job off things for you. So you start off with something already under your belt, you know.
Oh, okay. So it's like because there's no contact with you as yet.
Yeah, yeah. So they could come and job off. So there is a good thing to keep in mind when you're coming. Cause I had the first night I had to tough it over there. I didn't know about that. So there is a
What do
good
you mean
thing.
tough it
So
out? What do you mean tough it out?
big
I
man,
didn't understand.
remember I ain't got nothing in there. So me ain't had no sheet on my bed. Me ain't had no pillow. Me ain't got nothing in there. Everything whatever you need, you got to open that box. Me ain't
So
talking about
you pay
box.
this money for this room, and you got the the necessities, what I should call
Yes.
it. The toiletries and all those stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything. Yeah, that's what make I say it's a good thing. Like when you come in the day, make sure you people and them put something there so that you don't start off with your basic.
Okay.
You know, but that's about all I have for the COVID.
Well, you see, COVID being mandatory now. You see,
Mm-hmm.
COVID doing with this vaccine and all and sitting here. Yeah, so I mean, like everything seems to be mandatory. Like I seen, like even up to today, I seen letter like people sharing letters what Ram saying and all and stuff that we seeing videos with ministers or government. Oh, you have to take the vaccine because if you take it, your girlfriend take it, this and that. Let your boyfriend take it, you and your girlfriend, and this and that, and wait. You know, sometimes not even don't try to keep up with so much bullshit, you check, because it look like some people, it look like you get the vision now who really smart or who really stupid. You check it out, and me don't really want to call nobody stupid at the same time, but at the same time, you still want to say, man, these people stupid, man. You know what I mean? Like, they can't say it anyway, in any better way, because, like, as a politician, you got to pretend some the time. You understand me? But you can't just make yourself look like a full blown ass.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay. Hear me out now,
Uh-huh.
because some of it I was not pleased with. I went and I listened to some because, for me, it is important to have context. So, me not just want to hear a clip. I want to hear what you're saying and how you were saying it and see how you were saying it. So, for example, the Prime Minister one, I didn't like that one. Yeah, I didn't like that one there. That one there, you could have hear the Donald Trump in that one there. You understand? You could have. I don't understand how he don't get his legal team to look into how they could do it mandatory. And we still not get nothing from the marijuana, but we're gonna talk about that later. But
Yeah.
he this now, he done got things in place. We got Boundaries Commission. But since 2015 we dug his story. We still not getting a report. Even them man just finish a first term, them man not give no report or nothing. Them man not change nothing. Even having said by these boundaries are half key. You understand? They got time to do. They got time to do this now. They got time to talk about mandatory and talk about how you must do this and must do that. But they ain't got time
But
to do the other things what will help us right now too, at the same point in time.
But of course, why? You know why? Because guess what? We still sinking Navy is still under the state of emergency. They ain't gonna let go that. You understand me? That's why they could do what they want under the state of emergency. Happy 1 year anniversary since they're under the
No,
state of emergency, going for 2 years
no,
now.
no. Let me, because I want to talk about what mandatory mean. Because I don't have a lot of conversation about how mandatory mean, and I don't went and did some reading with regards to how
Hmm.
mandatory would look. And I heard the premier also talk about mandatory and how they really would do it is, first of all, with
Yeah.
regards to a medical procedure, you must get consent. I got to tell you that I am allowing you to do this to my body, because it's my body. So they can't necessarily tell you you got to go. What they will do, how it will look, is that, for example, and you hear the premier talk about this, he don't say, well, you could see in Israel, they're saying if you don't have the vaccine, you can't go to the bar. You understand? They're going to try to block you off from doing certain things. He talk about travel, for instance. These is the ways now they're going to try to put you in a kind of corner to say, well, if you want to party in the general society, then you got to do this. But remember, everything is a trade-off because then that means you also deplete the workforce. That means you also
Yeah.
increase your unemployment. So there are a lot of factors. There are a lot of factors as to why mandatory is not the right way. You understand? You can't just go straight to mandatory. And okay, God, Jason, you got to watch a really, really going on. I went and I watched the numbers, and the first of April, it had 2,411 people vaccinated. By the
Yeah.
time by the time they start to talk about mandatory, it only had 2,460. So in a week time, it basically came down to like 7 people a day was getting vaccinated. So of course that gonna concern you because the thing was moving with some momentum and then now we got down to 7 people a day. So now
So the
they jump.
momentum shift.
That's what I tell you. So it jump now to let we start to talk about how mandatory. So I mean, even if you watch the numbers, when they talk about that now, you start to see it jump back up to like 40 something a day. But then that's still gonna decrease again because I talk to people and ain't nobody afraid to take no vaccine and nothing like that. So you check it out. But manga questions, manga real fucking questions about what going on, about if something happened to me, is there a number my family are gonna get in terms of money? I may
But
just dead like
but
and we got bills. We got
but when
questions.
I look at Alan Holland, when I look at people working for minimum wage, got to force themselves to take a like they're being forced to take a vaccine, right? You understand me? It make you start to wonder. Like you done working for minimum wage and like you try you put bread out of my mouth. But hear this. Hey, people got selective retaliation to it because hear this. If me and you depend on you and you try box food out of my mouth, you understand me? You know for sure I gonna retaliate. You understand me?
Almost. And as you
Eh,
talk about that, car resentment is building. All when I come, I would have get in. You know, you don't start to your taxi driver. So I talking to
yeah.
me taxi driver, and she would have tell me like certain things are going on, and she said, "Could you imagine? I don't go take the vaccine, right? Nobody tell me to take the vaccine. I know you way to take the vaccine because it gonna help me, get go back out to work and because up at airports, the most taxi. The first time I ever escape airport, I used to like 30 bus park up. Ain't got nothing going on. So she knows the right thing to do. She got to take the vaccine. She said, imagine they call me who will ask me if me don't take the vaccine. Then they call me and ask me what going on with the babies. Then they call me and ask me like what going on with me. They call me or ask me if me don't take the vaccine. So they don't even know the people in terms of like who has gone to take the vaccine also. So people still have build up resentment too. Because look, me done responsible. Me do everything. Not even me you got to be a worry about. And you still call me and ask me if me take the vaccine. You want me to come again? You are ready, are they
But
ready for the second
hey,
dose?
for me, I ain't I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna take the vaccine, but right now, I don't care who dig who. Nobody digs me right now.
Well, I'm gonna
Nobody
tell you again.
digging me.
I'm
You
gonna tell
digging
you
it?
again.
He-
I
But
make
hold
up my
on,
mind.
hold on, hold
Right.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Because I ain't done yet. The reason why I saying that, you check it out, because it's mostly people of business calling out for this vaccine. If you look at the people who were being the champion and the karaoke for this thing, singing along. You understand me? These are people who usually accustomed to be making money from certain clientels. You understand me? Of the hierarchies, you know what I mean? Because is more in a livelihood is a business. That's how I see it now. By this vaccine thing, in a livelihood is a business. Because guess what? Guess what? Take the vaccine so we could bring back tourism. But they realize we're really going on too. Everybody got their own issues to deal with too.
Yeah. It's not gonna be the solution that they are selling it to be. Because okay, as you mentioned that, okay, here what crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I hear them talking about the vaccine so things will go back to normal. No. Think about people who, when things been normal, things wasn't good. So them man just want to get back to normal. But man got to get better, yeah? Because what happened is we done. When you don't had a bad year, for example, last year we I think they said the economy was down 18%. So if we up 10% this year, that means I'll be still down 8, you know? So I'll be can try get back to 0, you know? I'll be got to get back to plus. If I'll be not try get back to plus, what I'll be try to do?
Sure.
And me not hear
That
nothing.
is so true.
Me not hear nothing except, as you said, the same old ideas of tourism. Tourism, I'm gonna say that. Tourism. Okay. Let me tell you what really again, right? With this thing too. When I come in down here, I had a soda and I had some Wendy's. You check. And the woman is asking me why I work with them. So I tell she I have a 14 in the quarantine. She said, 14 in the quarantine? You ain't going home? I said, yeah. But I got to do a 14 in the quarantine. She said, does your government know Barbados is down to 5? You understand? So people are now, what happens is like, as much as they could say, like, this hotel has been built. You know, make no sense the park ahead. And Marriott and these hotels, if nobody down there. Because I can't go in that weekend time every weekend. No, sir. No, sir. When Premier say he invite petitions over and he said hotels was full, you realize he said cold mirror, you know, Wally, can't say full season. You check, that's not that, and that's the problem right now. As you say, the uptake is hurting, and them man feel like the only solution is to bring back tourism. But how you gonna bring back tourism? And I mean, Canada is the some kind of lockdown right now.
Yeah, we are lockdown right now. Stay at home. Well, not only a lockdown, a stay at home order.
You see what I mean?
But from what today is, I think it's today. From today, the salons they lose give us some slack on the salons. But here the thing about it, the golf courses and all that stuff. They like you go to the park and walk the dog and all that thing. What happened now? I went to Walmart yesterday, and when I walk in, they got all the clothes, the non-essentials. You understand me? Tape off, like so you can't go in there and buy a shirt and a pants. So you know what I see somebody doing? Walking up and down naked with a sign. So well, if I can't buy no clothes, if clothes in the essentials, well, see ya, me ain't got no clothes. But I'm just showing you, like, you know what I mean? So what? No, they made an announcement today saying they're gonna cut some slack. You know what I mean? Give us some slack and hair salons and things. Up to now, me and him say barber shop. But all of them dealing with here. You understand me? So you still leave the barber hurting? No. They got to say barber shop.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're specific. But here the thing about it, when they announced the lockdown, you could have go to the golf courses because guess what? Allegedly, let me use the word alleged. Allegedly, the so-called premier of the province. You understand me? He's more going out to golf and those type of things. So he he gives some slack on those kind of activities because he's more like a golf person, you know. So
Mm.
you find him give leverage for that.
Um, I I don't I don't know because Jason, when I went places where a lot of COVID, eh? But the most you
Yeah,
could do is the you do, yeah. The most you could do is the best you could do. Because I still not COVID. And okay, you want to tell you one of the issues them why I got with the COVID situation too. Them
mm-hmm.
man need to they got something named the antigen test. If they really wanted to get more people to take the vaccine, right? They would have been using the antigen test. And the antigen test tell you all if you had COVID ever. You check because it gonna still kind of remain in your body. So if they had that they know and they could have shown that even though we ain't had no community spread, we had people here who had COVID. They could have used them kind of statistics there to kind of build a case to show by. Is lucky, we're really lucky. But then use
Yeah.
no statistics. You can't use force. And the problem is now too, as I tell you, you want increase unemployment and you want slap down by your workforce, you want slap down by the amount of people in work over line. Because ain't anybody going to take this thing. You want slap down by you want slow down. It is a losing move to make it mandatory, in my
But
estimation.
but
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 they have the
but
power
but
and it's not under the state of emergency.
but at the other hand, when you look at it, yeah, so I mean, when this actually happened last year, you know what I mean, everything was promoted highly for the local sector. If you understand what I'm saying, like everything was local, staycation, everything, and like creativity was building. You know what I mean? And like you start to fall in a phase where you come back to be dependent on the outside. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that, but if you could make the turnover while you're inside, you know what I mean? Just work with inside after you just regulate accordingly. Because, like for instance, if if things go back to like maybe like 15 years ago when $300 a week was a lot of money, you understand me? At least it could make you because you realize now a lot of things are being created at home. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, remember the last time we were here on the show, we're talking about fence making and all these products being made. You know what I mean? So like it could happen. You understand me? But the value of the dollar now, you just make it more the value of the dollar. If you understand where I'm coming from.
Um,
Like I ain't got no problem working for $5 an hour, but just you just that the $5 an hour now could make sure buy me a food and a drink.
well, that's how come I was just going to tell you. It is important to look back, but remember, you look back to see what was and the mistakes, so that when you're moving forward, you don't make those same mistakes. We ain't going back to no kind of time when $300 an hour could do it for you. It can't happen, Niji. You check it out when you
Three
were
hundred
in the
dollars a
super,
week, not 300 an hour.
$200 a week. Yeah, that's what I mean. $200 an hour could
Yeah, I
do it.
know.
$200 a week. They will never be a time again when that
That's
much
true.
power. It can't happen. So, and that's how come me I try to tell you we can't go back to where we've been. If we now go forward with a realistic plan on how we are gonna make this thing better, and especially in the pocket, you ain't talking to me in a realistic fashion right now. You fucking crazy.
And I understand what you're saying, but I looking at the boastiness it was last year comparing to this year. Because remember when I think when he had this staycation weekend. They count all the money the boat make from port and all this stuff and the updated, you know what I mean? For the whole. not keep weekend and all that stuff. They comparing to this year now. You check where I come from? Meaning like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was working last year. So I'm trying to show you
yeah.
like it was working last year. So what be happened
When
to
it
this year?
listen, remember when it fresh, you know how things been in Davis. Me go home my club right now, no, I'm fresh. When it fresh, me don't get people. But if me not maintain some level of creativity, if me not bring nothing new to the table, Jason, what people gonna end up and do? You gonna end up and flop. That's how come me I tell you,
True.
you can't be doing the same thing story. You got to got some kind of twist. Otherwise, what? No, it's not that. I think talk about the next thing.
Let me read the comments. Hold on, let me read the comments because it's been a while I've been touching base with the comments. I just want to say big up to everybody who tune in. You don't know we're keeping it 100. Big up Jasmine. Yeah, mandatory. Of course, mandatory. Nobody should be forced to be taking the vaccine. Welcome to the West. Yes, Buju Banton said the East is the best, no, but we only listen to this song and sing out, but we don't really mean it. Exactly. The people who are COVID should they still take the vaccine. Yes, that's true. I really in a comment for Yasan Tofari, big up yourself, Virgin. This should be an opportunity for the people to come together and speak with one voice and address this issue as national issue and not along party lines. This is a human rights issue where the vaccine is concerned. Are you people are going to allow your fundamental rights to be trampled like that? If so, then look for more rights to be taken away. Because this all in the beginning. Because couple days ago, we and a couple friends of ours, we were talking and like, yo, what is the game plan? What is the game plan? And
First
you
of
know
all,
what I mean?
first of all,
Everything, everything, everything what we say could be right, but we ain't on the end game. Maybe we might dead and all before that happen.
first of all,
Hmm.
hey, let me tell you, because I was going to say this earlier. Last week, we
Yeah.
don't make up me go take the vaccine in Jason. I'm lay on that thing. I'm going to take the well, and first of all, I don't know I'm going to take the vaccine at some stage and point. Okay? No, this come back to me original standpoint again. Okay? I ain't taking the AstraZeneca. Okay? That is the half of the thing. We ain't having no kind of discussion if we're talking about the AstraZeneca. And that is true. No, the premier says a 0.00003 chance or whatever that you get blood clot. No, me and Salt man no. Me don't know about he. He lucky. But me Salt no fuck. So I ain't think that I should be the man to risk. And that and also me in charge of me not in charge of that aspect there. You know what I mean? I just talk to people, you know what I mean? And they let me know what is the story and AstraZeneca is off the table. I was going to take the Johnson and Johnson. Okay? And then this week I
Uh,
see is get shut down in America. Them man say we pausing. Actually the FDA last night come out and say they pausing the Johnson and Johnson rollout. So me out of that race the two. No, Moderna and Pfizer are not gonna come to Nevis. That is just too cold. We can't. We not got no storage facilities. It's a logistical problem for us to get them there. But them they are the ones suffer. Mina, I see. Well, when you take a vaccine, right, you don't know you're gonna
yeah.
have some kind of reaction. You might get redness. You might
Hmm.
get fever. You have certain things where you might get were reasonable. No,
Yeah.
when you're talking about your faint way, when you take Johnson and Johnson, and you get blood clot when you take AstraZeneca, that's which part Alan they say, no, I ain't in a them there. You check it out. We just not do that. For me, personally. But overall, the responsible thing, I say this all the time, the responsible thing is to take the vaccine. It is. But it's just that for, for the government, I can say it again, you cannot be a fucking asshole. You can't do it. You can't go on a mandatory. You check it out. You can't come go squeeze people pocket because then another thing I'm gonna say, and this is proven throughout history. One thing when you got high unemployment, that also go with high crime rate. Right now, I got everything under control. Unemployment is not going to make the thing stay under control. They have to balance a number of things. When they try to talk to people about mandatory, they don't realize is a big conversation you talk about. That's how come, even if we talk about the color red, you know how many different things we could talk about the color red? But is what we choose to see. You can't just watch it as, okay, they could make it mandatory and that's the best thing, do it. No, because as I'm saying, them man have studies what say it's only like 2% of the population is anti-vaccine. Yeah? Just 2. Everybody else you could reason with. Man have vaccine. You would hear them say vaccine have been around a long time. We are not disputing the fact that vaccine have been around a long time. You know? We are saying that this is a very new vaccine. And we are unaware of the side effects of this particular vaccine. And because we are unaware of the side effects, we kind of hesitating to really make this step. And when man went to take away vaccine as a youth, right? These vaccine was done for 50 years, for 60 years. I went over by Elo's last night. And Elo showed me the vaccine. Elo's like 50 something. Hello, show me vaccine thing around a long time. So we had a history to say this is what's going on with this particular new one. This is why they need to come. It's about sensitization. You can't talk to me about how St. Kitts and Nevis have this high literacy rate and you can't go out and talk to the people. They're going to listen. And you said we're not that smart. Oh, you on the road where you can't fool talk. You got to play stupid fool then.
Again in the comments now, Lionel Starboy Prentice, pick up yourself. The government should have secured different types of vaccines so that the people can do their own research and take the one that they are most comfortable with instead of forcing one vaccine on the whole population. Yes, that's true, but I guess they go account to, because remember, we ain't know where the $800,000 how much ever money the vaccine we ain't know how much the money, we ain't know where the money actually went to. If it went to AstraZeneca, Johnson and Johnson,
no, I could tell you. I have the answer. Listen, remember we just do research on top of this show, They could say we talk stupidness, but we just do research. That money went to the COVAX story. And as I tell you, he said it's not 800 and something thousand. He says 120 something, 127 and change. And half up like Peddy West 90 something thousand, and it was a total of 200 and something thousand. And that there was, I think, to give us at least 20% coverage from the COVAX facility.
So we haven't gotten the COVAX yet.
Yeah. Listen, that's what I tell you. The COVAX now deal with AstraZeneca. That's how come we deal with AstraZeneca. Yeah.
So
because, and I could give you the full thing too, because what happened now, COVAX really and truly is a group where like the big countries and them kind of put together, and they're making sure that smaller countries get some kind of vaccine. So, and the kind of vaccine what they're going to choose are obviously going to be the cheapest one. So AstraZeneca is the cheapest one. Is the easiest to store. It come out before the Johnson and Johnson. So that's the first thing what we grab onto, basically. And as I said, Moderna.
Yes, on I say, I am throwing this in. Not that I support the vaccine, but there are some very good news coming from Cuba and some vaccines that they have developed. They even have one that is actually nasal spray, nasal spray. Yeah. Any considerations to accept the Cuba vaccine after the third trial test? We have not heard much about that and supporting our own special, especially knowing that Cuba and their medical credibility gets global recognition and has always been supporting St. Kitts and Nevis. Will our leaders be looking in that direction too? Yason, what I feel like, right? The vaccine, like Cuba and Russia got something in common. You check it out. Like, yo, as bad as we have them labeled, you know what I mean? We in the West got Russia label for this and that and all that stuff there, and vice versa for Cuba. You know what I mean? These people are so legit people, you know. You understand me? Because like when they do certain things, especially with health, you check it out, it's like them and the clock doing some sort of experiment for something for getting better. And like even one of the worst doctors in Cuba is one of the best. Could be one of the best in the Caribbean, I'm just saying.
I think suppose we got some kind of links with Cuba, and from Nevis, I think Nevisian people have what I would say, a better disposition. They got a better attitude towards Cuba than to Russia, because you go say where you want, I will not be taking the Sputnik V. But the Cuban one, I will read into that and check out again now with them. But I will not be taking Sputnik V. Neither China. Be good.
Well, hey, you saying you ain't taking this from whoever, neither China, whoever. You would be surprised that same boat Evergreen will get stuck in the tunnel, get stuck with all the vaccine from China and just distribute it to the company so they could put on their brand. So I don't know what you're saying really truly, you know. Cause China, wait, is one thing about China, you know. Listen, is one thing about China, you know. They ain't gonna sell it from the front, you know. They gonna sell it from the back. But remember when you buy the product there and when it's empty, you'll just see something made in China. I catch your mother's gun. You feel like America come from?
Whatever I get gonna be legit. Whatever I get gonna be legit. I don't have nothing. But as I said, the best
but
thing
what about not taking anything at all?
That would be, of course, the best outcome. That would be the best outcome. But on a realistic level, where this thing is headed, you won't have to take the vaccine.
Okay. But look at the issue.
No. Here what I want to tell you. I prepared to hold out for a time. Cause if they feel like as I said, you can't catch me by telling me music festival and them thing like. Reason with me, do not threaten me with, don't tell me nothing about no kind of action. Because man got some amazing system and so home. You could watch any kind of movie you want home. Whoever could come by you. Them man got to get so strict with it, them man got to say bye. You can't even talk to somebody who got the vaccine. And if you come down to that, they ain't gonna be the government. Right now they don't like the one who the government.
But hold on, no. And hey, some simple words, right? Some simple words are so powerful. No place like home. Home sweet home. You understand me? And we took them for granted. And look at this. But like how we say, and like how I mentioned home sweet home, let me talk about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Knowing that they're in the midst of a crisis and with the vaccine also.
Okay. So I gonna keep it short with regards to what I have to say about St. Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got people down Vinci, not family, but I got people from down Vinci from school days and then kind of things there.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's a serious thing. I hope well me don't reach out to people and try to make sure things are alright with certain people. I hope that the people down there are able to bounce back from it. Um, as far as how we gonna support St. Vincent, I think I see the Prime Minister say he's gonna donate $1 million to them. I think I see Janice send down some water, some cases of water for the relief effort.
Janice are NRP.
Yeah. Janice is NRP, you know. Janice is the leader of NRP. So Mr. Janice is yeah. Janice is NRP.
Yeah, but people.
She the leader of NRP sent us. You see, wait, you want this thing we are talking now? Janice send on some water to the people. Okay? So 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 so, so anyway. So and I just want to highlight them things there because this situation is not gonna be about putting up a fucking flag and say, I'm with you, St. Vincent, and wear this to feel good about your fucking self. You understand? If you really could even in a 50 or something, and you know you're going on there, if you could give some assistance, it's a real fucking story. This is not once again about going up on Facebook, up on your WhatsApp or your Instagram about putting up this and St. Vincent flag and so. So I understand who want to say praise up for St. Vincent and Rere, you're making it about yourself. Don't do the fuck. You check it out, put in at this thing right now. If you put it in, put in. If you just want to talk because you want to feel good for yourself, done the fuck. That is all.
But Alan, but you know, people are doing it for the recognition. You know, people gonna come in on the bandwagon and post up on Facebook. Like, I don't take part in it. I don't watch it and I doing my part. If I'm gonna do my part, I don't need to show it. You understand what I say? Everybody different there. Everybody different there. But for me personally, if I'm doing my part, you understand me? I don't need to show it. Nobody got to see what me do because me got a virgin down there. You understand me? He keep me updated with what's going on. I was talking to him today because he went live this morning and he told me, "Boy, a lot of us ain't want to leave because they want to take the vaccine and all that kind of stuff there. But apart from that, you understand me, as we fly back to St. Kitts Nevis, where we left St. Vincent now, you understand me? Like, I thinking about dancing a yard before you're dancing abroad, knowing the fact that, yes, the disaster is there, you understand me? Things happen. But I looking at the fact that you got people who ain't work, like the Four Seasons workers and all these, you know what I mean? Like all these hospitality workers waiting for the severance. I ain't start out yet. You understand me? But I don't know if this $1 million pledge that the Prime Minister is doing, you understand me, is an emergency pause. Like by that's an emergency pause, let me use that would help out whatever. But you should also got pause for the severance because you got to dance here before you dance abroad. Plus, you're still bringing more people to generate a population because I think the Prime Minister should bring 10, 20 more thousand people. Give Nevis all.
Well, you know hear the number? You didn't hear the number?
300.
They don't put. Yeah, that's it. I feel like that's small.
Yeah, that's small.
I feel like that could have
But
been. That could be a bigger number. If they want to come.
yeah, man. But I'm saying no. If you no, I'm thinking no, like for the future of my island, my federation, St. Kitts and Nevis, like okay, then no, you're seeing this all this volcanic activity and like wow, suppose this was Nevis. Like, is there any safe zone or anything? And like when you map out everything, and like when you look at the zoning, there is no zone. You can't even shelter in
Yeah,
a
but
Marcos.
Pana, you're going on with news, right? Because this is a very easy conversation. I don't do the maths a long time. If Nevis speak, decide, hey, Alan never rumble, you know. I out. I
Mm-hmm.
gone. And when I out, me not gonna escape. I out. I out. Because that's it. But Nevis speak in the middle of Nevis. You know the benefit of it is that when rain fall, um, we no flood. All the water gonna run off down on the plains. But if that
But
area
I'm
have is not no long conversation or not no Jason. We out.
sure.
We will be a dispersed people at that moment in time. We will become
But I'm
something
looking at.
else.
But you see what I'm seeing right here now, right? If you see, like,
Yeah,
look at the
I watch it.
look. Just look at that. Just look at that. Like, just look at that. Like, why if Davis was to end up in any casualties, like, yo, the plane crashed with the coke long time, yeah. The plane, watch out, yeah, man. I bought
No everybody on that down.
no,
They will
of
be
course,
survivors. And as soon as he settle back down, there will be a news again. And if he got volcano, that means he's gonna be a bigger news too.
hmm.
Yeah, but me don't really want to talk about that, you know. Remember, me don't reach back home, you know. So let me go on a different topic.
That's
I just
true.
got
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true because we still got focus on dealing with I mean this situation there. Like I see a post on Facebook like lad, you understand me? Yeah, I'm glad I'll do whatever with the money, but lad, me not get the severance yet. But you quick to do short, whatever is a good and a bad in everything. You know what I mean? But just look after everybody one time then. Kill two birds with one stone.
bye. But watch it. As I'm gonna tell you, right, it's a very, very difficult situation for that people that are St. Vincent. And boy, are them volcano block, you know, boy. So I
Yeah.
ain't even questioning. I'm not gonna question it. I really can't do it.
No, me.
Can't do it. I
Hey,
can't do it.
what is mother nature? You know, nature. Hey, when nature get angry, you understand me? Because we as human pushing one agenda. You understand me? And mother nature just waiting for you for them
It's
to
a
step up.
situation. If I had the power to do it, I believe I would have do it too. For real, for real. So I can't watch it with no kind of thing. But here what happened.
Hmm.
Talking about personally, me not talk about take up
Yeah,
government money and do it. You check it out. If I could have do it, I would have do
yeah.
it. Yeah. What's the next
That's
topic, bro?
it's so good. It's so good. You know what I mean? Like they did a good thing, but at the same time, remember you still left people hanging. You know what I mean? I got a cousin of mine. I got a cousin of mine. You understand me? And she tell me straight up. She say, "Yo, if the seventh money ain't coming, I gonna got to sell." I said, "Sell what? Front? I gonna got to sell front." So okay, you gotta do your thing. That's your hustle. If you wanna sell front, you sell
Um,
front. That's why we don't be no judge for the body. You do
Listen,
what you gotta do. Lead
I
by
don't tell
example,
you,
though.
right? The real problem with the severance story, right, is that when they had social security month or social security week or whatever, they come on and they start to boast and say they have $1.6 billion in assets and they have this amount of that and that. No, I understand in life because you got assets in your liquid. When you got liquid, then now you're talking to me about the cash you got in the bank. When you got assets, me
Mm-hmm.
know you got building and so, you got land and so. You check something, you got bonds, you got all kind of different ways how you're trying to tell me that you have assets. No, if you're gonna tell me about this 1.6 billion and you ain't telling me that you're gonna sell some of these assets to, as you say now, deal with the people, then why did you go on and talk about how you got this pile of assets? It don't make no sense. Talk about the liquid. Because you see, this is why in conversation now, people gonna say,
Yeah.
but them they say they got money. They don't say they got money, you know. They say they got assets. They talk about how much cash they got. They don't do that. And then here what the next thing is ain't necessarily as simple as I even say either. Because who said these buildings and so what they got? People want to buy them. And who said they could buy them? This is a pandemic. So ain't no simple thing. So I just feel like it was not time to flex and talk about all whatever. And you see, this is why when you got what 4 years straight getting civil and double salary. Double salary. So what is going to happen now when you have an emergency every year? You just gain a bonus with no kind of remember, it wasn't necessarily saying we got a farm on structure, you know? It's just
True.
um year income, double salary. Just get double salary. Whereas now the money they now would have come in handy at this moment in time. But um, sometimes in the moment things feel good, but in the long run, it's not the best move. Maybe it was the best move at the time. People get extra things in at them time. You got to hope that they were smart. Well, and you
Hey,
see, the thing they hoping people were smart.
hey, well last you hear how much money there in the CID.
It's been a significant period of time. I've not been hearing anything about citizenship by investment.
Hey, during COVID passport, I said, no, is one thing ain't gonna run out is passport, you know. You
Mm.
understand me? Hey, watch out, you sell 4 passport if it's still how much you mean now? It was $250,000, I know, at a point in time, but if you sell four, if it's still 250,000, if I saw you go, how
Yeah,
much it was the last time you said?
but it would be reduced after that, you know, because the rest family members and them would get a smaller rate. So
Well, let's say,
four of them ain't gonna be a million.
okay then, but let's say
Yeah,
four gonna be a million. You understand me? Man sell four and pay people the severance, man. Sell 4 months, give people the severance. So while we focus on the distraction, you understand me? I said, look how the man sell the passport, whatever, cheap and this and that. And the man just bounce back and say, all I talk. I sell the passport to pay the people in severance.
but they
I'm
got to go
just
through
saying, you know
procedure.
what I mean?
They got they got to go through procedures. They got to vet people and all kind of thing.
But it's an emergency. It's a way, people waiting for this to emerge. Remember, we're still under a state of emergency, that is how I look at it. That is how I look at it. Watch out. The money is what they put there over the time period when they are working.
Well, that is what they say. Because remember, at the same point in time, when you're talking about social security money, is social security
I'm
money you're
talking about,
talking about?
yeah.
Well, you see, you got to remember too. Remember them and just switch it up because they say that at the same point in time, they've been running at a deficit recently. You check it out. So they got to kind of
But
reform.
but they can't say nothing because we paying VAT fund since labor.
But I cannot know the social security.
No, but VAT got something to do with money in the bank.
I can't say no. I can't say
VAT
no.
got to do with something with money in the bank. We are
Um,
no bills got to pay. We are no about the overheads and all that stuff there.
do you recall that we done had a couple of IMF report, and I think the last one they keep it secret and all.
Because
Even,
what?
even well, I don't know. It's a cabinet issue.
I wonder why it's a
Uh,
cabinet issue because it look like everybody afraid to leadership right now. Nobody care about the people right now. Cause all when you see somebody don't make a promise to be fourth leader and this and that and all this kind of thing. But everybody forget Nevis, somebody from Nevis could also be prime minister too. You know what I mean? Why they want to talk about Timothy and Sean and leave out Remark or whoever. If you understand what I'm saying.
because Labour only have to see.
And we only got three.
Labour couldn't get the third seat, man. But I let me tell you something what confused me. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't even wherever Sean said well, he want to be prime minister. But here what confused me about Sean. Sean apparently said he gonna be the fourth prime minister, the next prime minister of the country. Right? The
Yeah.
guest speaker, the guest speaker was the first prime minister.
Yes.
And from what I hear from what he was saying you don't need to be fighting up over the leader. You know? So the guest speaker message, who is the first prime minister, trying to tell Pan people they're trying to cause confusion. They want to break up all you. Don't worry about who is the prime minister. And then Sean gonna go up there and say he gonna be the next prime minister. That there sounds sensible.
Because he just went and dilute the cause because where be happen now. You talking with old school against new school now, because where be happen now. Sean is a more person now. He's more how should I say trending. If you understand what I say. So he wanna build a hype. He wanna build a hype. If you look at it, like me watch the video, like hey, I ain't gonna tell you like when I saw that clip, you know what I mean, you could hear the sound effect in the background. It's so it like you watch a Superman movie. You hear the tu 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 tu. You feel like Superman real.
Okay.
So
Wait,
so
okay.
I said that to say this, like he don't want to just left it as it is. He want to stand out with his own energy, saying what he want to say.
Okay. So let me tell you something, boy. This is just my
Uh,
opinion, eh? This is my
no problem.
opinion. No, I can't remember nothing what Sean Richard said. Nothing at all. When it come to Pam, the only man in a Pam what I remember what he said is Lindsay. We don't know what it is about
Mhm.
Lindsay, but I don't remember whatever Lindsay said. I can remember. I can remember what he said. If you love your boyfriend, if you love your girlfriend, all kind of thing. But I can remember what Lindsay said. No, I ain't
Mhm.
saying that you have to be this wonderful speaker to be successful at politics. Because
True.
you got some politicians who, as me tell you, we can't remember nothing what they didn't say. Sometimes you drop sleep when the man attack. It does happen. Um, me, me, me not see it in a Shan boy. Who lead the country? Who lead this country as a so? Me not see it. But if you want to get up
Well,
and say, and you know
well,
what confused me? No last year I had election, not even a year gone yet. How come I be talk about Prime Minister? Why is
but
this an
that's the
issue?
whole that's the whole point about it. And now you mentioning that if you could run a country and all that type of stuff there, right? But that's where you get special advisors for. And what the premier do? Get a special advisor.
No, no, understand. I am not saying that you have to know everything because, for example, as I say, the premier ain't not go help. Every time the premier buy a machine, the premier always mention, I did not know what this machine do. Of course, he don't know what the machine do because he ain't nothing about help. He's just the minister of health. Check. He's the minister of finance. He run a business, but he ain't no finance like that. He is an attorney, so he
Yeah.
he 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 have a level of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? He's organized and things. I ain't saying that he ain't got skills. He got skills what he could use in running a country. But he ain't really gonna tell you nothing about finance. He can't tell you nothing about health. Tell you about law. That's what he know. And he use his
True.
skills like he analytical skills, he overall skills, argumentative skills in certain ways to highlight himself as a politician. But as far as knowing about he know about tourism, so because me went on a lot of plane, I know about tourism, and so you go. You check? But you're the minister of tourism, and as you say, you want to get people, and you got to be able to. One of the things, for example, as I said, you got to be able to absorb information and
Yes.
then come up with things now to make the thing attractive. You got to really and truly teach the department. Like when you're a minister, you teach
Uh-huh.
and allow at the same time, you know.
Of
So
course.
that's what it be you got to do. You know, really necessarily got to know what going on. You got to be able to learn, be able to get in this information and be able to say, okay,
Of
we're
course.
going really and truly you're responsible for the vision. If the vision fucked up, and like when you're doing your COVID rollout and you start to get 7 people a day and the vision start to get fucked up, then you
Mm-hmm.
got to buy a fucking up myself, you know, and you come with other things. You know, sometimes you come and you talk about mandatory and you make a fucking stupid decision. But that's what I'm saying. You're responsible for the
But
vision of how this thing is gonna go. And then
but if they
whether
only
you face it,
but
and
if you only think about yourself, you ain't gonna got no time to think about that because if you look on the whole scenario, everybody think about leadership. Everybody just a think about some sort of leadership. Nobody think about delivering to anything to the ground. Because all I be momo, all I be just gonna do a be part. Oh fuck you then. If I say go. But somebody asks a question, so Alan Boyle, what's your opinion? Who you think is best fit to run our lovely country? That's from Chanel Brown.
which one of them? Can't remember if they got 2 elections.
Well, he said our country, so he basically means think it's Nevis.
Think it's a Nevis. Um, okay. The only thing I could tell you for sure, because remember, still at the same time, PLP
Mm-hmm.
don't have the convention, and I see a woman a ball in the convention, and I say, how Tim need to reconsider and don't bother with this two-tone story. Okay? So you don't see tail like them are gonna give up at a full slate a candidate. No. Me not feel like Tim in no scenario is Tim gonna be the prime minister in the next federal election. As me tell you, me not see how Pam gonna get the prime minister neither. To me this thing game up to labor. Me no know. Watch it. Let me say this. Me no want to be Denzel Douglas again. I would not. I don't want Denzel Douglas being prime minister no more. He could be Labour, but them are going to bring a fresh name. From my preliminary understanding, Labour is going to be. But as I said, only a year gone. I want to know who will be the next prime minister and only a year gone in Hamilton. And I don't want it to be Denzel Douglas. I'm finished with Denzel Douglas, me personally.
Well, it look like everybody gonna choose a spot because it look like you don't even got to get experience to choose the spot because as I tell me boys earlier, you know what I mean? It look like you go just shoot me as a candidate. Just shoot me as a candidate. Let me see. Let me
Okay.
get the response from the people.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, if Dr. Joe win, he gonna be Dr. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Then if Dr. Joe win, he gonna be Dr. Cause here what kind of right? Cause me don't work on the matter. I put everything up on a paper and I work out all the maths and I can tell you something. My brother can't be the prime minister. Cannot be the prime minister. And I'm gonna tell you why right now.
Yes.
Remember Mark was the leader of the opposition. You know? So Mark on the opposite was on the opposition bench with Sean and was the leader of the opposition. You know? And when the government found Mark the deputy prime minister, yeah? And he was the leader of the opposition. His man were bring together unity. You know what he has to sell for? And is something. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You check. But if he couldn't even get in there, you don't know the leader of the opposition. He was in charge. He is one of the man them because remember what he vibes is on. Send he a sink it to get out Denzel Douglas. You check. He platform from being the leader of the opposition. But when the government formed, he ain't no deputy Shang along up there to take this position. And that's how come, I guess, right now, he kind of inflated. But if, and you don't watch this thing, Mark have more see than Tim. He have more see than PLP. And he still ain't
Of
nothing.
course.
You don't know the youngster more would have been to join up with Pam. And let PLP go. Because if he join up with Pam alone, then he gonna be at least the deputy. Because if he gonna join up with Pam and he ain't gonna be at least the deputy, that gonna show you for real, no kind of power could ever reach niggas.
But
You can't be in
Timothy,
a position and then drop down. And that's a drop down. You're the leader of the opposition and then the government farm and you know up there. You know the big thing. How? Remember he was setting the agenda. He was a man attacking. You could remember, as I tell you, what I tell you about Sean, you could remember Sean, anything what Sean been said to Dougie then. Sean, I mean, got them kind of lyrics. That's not the presentation. It's not an oral list. It ain't gonna be nowhere and be like, by Sean at all. Let me hear what Sean. You could listen now. He ain't gonna say nothing, but you could listen. Good talker.
All I say,
Distinguished.
I try read a comment here. I try read a comment and the comments are killing me. Let them work out them maths. Gary, Gary asked this question. This is for both of you. Can what? Can you see? Can you see an division ever bring the PM? And if so, what's the best course of action to get this done?
I tell you, it will happen. It's not going. From what? Watch it. Okay, for example, let me show you. When it come to the deadlock what they had, when they couldn't find the government in a 95 or whatever, when Dougie said the inside story,
Yeah.
Vance ain't get up and said, well, bye, just make me the prime minister. And I'll be going to hold everything. In that moment, the Vance, I'm going to show you, he's never going to be the prime minister. He had it. He had the best opportunity. Well, the second best. Mark come now. And Mark show you again. He ain't gonna be the prime minister. He ain't in that. He ain't in that. He ain't savage enough. He ain't want it for real, for real. He would have had to get technical. You understand? He ain't went about really making things happen. Having all of the scenarios covered. He ain't had all of that. I'm telling you. And once you pass the first time, you can't get it again. And you gotta take it.
Well,
You have to take it while you look again. You ain't letting that pass.
well, for me, I wanna answer it too. For me, like for instance, like if the only way if I was so like I was to get the opportunity to be prime minister, like you know what I mean, and I run in the Nevis. Uh, you know me, I got a plan B because I just gonna keep it. I gonna keep it like business. You understand me? Yo, this is working over here. Like I don't got my agenda ready for me and my team. You understand me? Because it's majority rules, you know, because guess what? We have to make bargains. We have to make a bargain. Yeah, written contract, everything. Nothing before. You understand me? Because anything before, it gonna be somebody gonna leak something. You yourself as the leader of a party, you understand me? Got to keep certain things to yourself. So when you see an opening, you understand me? You just attack. Try to get your head in like a rat. You understand me? The body gonna follow. That's
Yeah, but
just
that
me.
woman, he and you see exactly he ain't got that. He just wanna be part of it. He wanna be able to say it's a cabinet issue. He don't want the responsibility and if it's good enough. To me it's good enough. And it is what it is. Too bad.
He could say he is good enough because based on what he is promised to. Because guess what? I could get being paid for I could get prime minister pay. I ain't the prime minister and me satisfied. If you understand what
Well,
I'm saying.
he got
I
to
could get
because
certain privileges. Go ahead.
um the reason how come he can get to is because remember you get two. So the prime minister would got to be a make so much more than he to cover he. He get paid as the leader and Nevis too. So the prime minister can't cover him. Listen, when it comes to politics, Mark is the most powerful premier we ever had.
Hmm.
At that moment in time. And that is not to say he's the most powerful. You got to understand. You got to watch that now and realize. Look at Nevis and say, what is going on? If we got the most powerful premier we ever had, he got 4-1 majority in the local legislature and he got 3-0 in the federal. all you got to do is look at Mavis and say, is this thing going in the right direction? Yeah or no? If you decide yeah, then this thing is gonna continue. If it's no, it's no. But this is the
I
most
like,
powerful man we don't have as the because remember when Vance been the premier and Vance was a federal minister, Vance was a senior minister, but he not been a minister and nothing done a sink it in, except labor him. Cause he had ecclesiastic affairs and navis affairs, and then are nothing. He's the minister of church and the minister of navis, and you from a navis. That end up make no kind of sense. And you could see that it don't make no sense because they ain't repeated. All of that they
but,
gone, you don't see the minister of navis affairs no more.
but hear this now. But hear this now. As you talk about Vance, right? You know that fucking man still a work.
He's still collecting checks. How you mean?
That man they still a work. Like that
Still,
man they not got
still
that
collecting.
man they not got no kind of the half. That man they still wearing
Still
jacket and
collecting.
tie.
Yeah,
That man they not got
absolutely.
no time for no. That man they not got no time for no t-shirt, Jay.
Need to be consulted at all moments in time. No hobby.
But
He
it look like
hobbies to
that. It look like that in his blood. Like Vance just got to keep going.
he hobbies to work. I tell you,
It look like
when when Vance take a vacation, right? Vance take a vacation to work. Go do a job, He not gonna
boy,
time out. Say is work.
boy. But Alan, you talking fuck. Vance vacation is when he catching the fucking boat.
And watch out. He still a some kind of thing. We'll make sure that he prepare or wherever he going. The man just stay working, boy.
But hold
Still
on
make
now. The last
coming
time
in.
the last time I saw Vance is maybe 2 days before I come to Canada. And me and Vance were having a conversation, right? And during that conversation, Vance see a quiet on the ground, blend camouflage with the stone, with the gravel stone. And Vance talk come up, and Vance tell me, boy, me going up, boy, you know much of these I got home, I go clean them up now.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Like that just the originality of the man. The man just know how to put a dollar on a quarter. Like the man just got himself assembled already.
Yeah.
Watch out, Vance iron your own clothes.
Definitely.
Of course, because he would know how he want to be dressed.
Vance ain't
But,
gonna let nobody else know. He gonna do the work.
but yeah, but you watch out. You not got no choice but to love Vance.
He gonna check on everybody, He gonna check on everybody, everything. He gonna ask you how your
Well,
person. He, he, he,
well,
he be not.
well, as we say, as we talk about Vance, right? Because that Vance is the past, and we're talking about the future. And when we talk about the future of politics, we mean like somebody young and very authentic. And they were on the Real Talk channel last night. So big up to Ira and Reese, you don't know. Yeah, bless up by yourself. And we are talking about none other than the future for St. Paul's. Am I right? Is it for NRP? Yeah, the future for St. Paul's.
It's at least the future for NRP in St. Paul's. The people in less than 2 years will be coming to the polls to determine if it is the true future for St. Paul's, but it is at least the future for NRP in St. Paul's at this moment in time.
And she is none other.
Remember, she launched on Saturday as well. Yeah. You were introducing that.
And she is no other than Janie Keynes. You know, Keynes, I've known her, like okay then, like me and Janie ain't no friend, me and Janie ain't no enemy. I know we supposed to be related and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, she's the future representative for St. Paul's. I could say that. You know what I mean? Like I could say what I want. You check it out because if he happy, he happy.
Yeah.
If he not happy, he not happy. But I could say that. You check it out. And I even had a talk with Reese last night, you know, and I said, Reese, man, the fucking show that got to be even fucking scripted, dog. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
JD just was on point. JD like he do the movies too. Because you like we
So
had
you,
movies in Nevis, you understand me? And you got go through script. You understand me?
yeah.
JD just was on point and JD was just batting. You check it out. Watch it. Chris Gale, you gotta watch yourself, Jed. Somebody else batting better than you.
So so you were impressed by the interview.
Of course.
Okay, well, I want to say a
Of
couple
course.
of things. First, I want to say I want to say certain things about the interview and real talk in general.
Yeah.
If if you is a real politician, your ass is going to reach from fucking real talk because you will be forced to answer real questions. Ain't no easy shit.
Yes.
You understand? So I want to give respect to the politicians who have reached on. See Dr. Daly reach on. Mark has been on twice. Chai reach on.
Mm-hmm.
The young lady from who I could never remember her name, Byron Nisbet. The young lady from the
Akila
Singles.
Byron Nisbet.
Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have had a potential, definitely a candidate in the next election, JD. So I just want to give respect to the politicians who have gone on to that show. Because as I said, you ain't like if you're up and real talk kinda ain't no show
Mm-hmm.
in a single maybe where you can happen. Because you will be asked proper questions. You don't have to explain the whys and the hows and the whens. So I just want to big up for bringing on that. And I want to say something else too.
Uh-huh.
Because we talk about politicians who could speak. I gonna talk personally. I'm gonna say what I say.
Yeah.
We've been trying to turn Mr. Brand for a very long period of time now. And we'll talk on you don't come on the topics. You don't got to do that. That might be a little bit too rough. I can understand. When we'll talk, they're gonna treat you wonderful. They're gonna treat you wonderful. Everybody gonna get a fair do. When you do good, you do good. You will be told. Mr. Brand, you need to get on the real talk corner. Your ass is not so busy that you can't come on the show. All I be live in St. Paul's, you know. So, at your next earliest convenience, sort out some time. Been seen a road doing a while. I know you have 2 road project coming up. Come go talk about the road project. Come talk about what you're dealing with in St. Paul's.
Tell us who Mr. Brand is.
He's my representative right now for St. Paul's. I can't remember my first name neither. I can't remember. I don't know. Mr. Brand. He's my representative in St. Paul's for the Constant Citizen movement. He won in 2017. And all I'm saying is, come on the show. I don't need no long story. I don't need no this and that. Come on the show and talk and let us hear what is going on. Miss Keynes, as I said, she last Saturday. She done on the
Mm-hmm.
show Monday. She was on some kind of another thing again today. You need to be accessible. You need to reach on. People want to hear what's going on, and you're gonna be asked reasonable questions. You understand?
For my part, you like for the interview, I realized how composure was very like approaching, like you go feel the magnetic effect, like, and it was just natural at the same time because it's like he talking to us like she dep on the bench of school by six farm or wherever, and we just pass and we next the talking. That's how she made me feel like we were back in school and we just end up the part of the conversation and just listening and while she talking to Ira and Reese. Like we are classmates or whatever. That's how I felt. I felt like I was under the neem tree. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know the neem tree? Yeah, I felt
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
was under the
yeah.
neem tree. Yeah,
Okay.
and we just were talking.
Okay. This is my preliminary perspective of what is going to take place at the next election with regards to St. Paul's, because now we
Hmm.
have an incumbent and we have a challenger officially. Now, Abu Shan, I could tell you, I can't remember nothing what Shan does say. No, I could be wrong. And this is why Mr. Brand need to come and real talk. Huh? I can't remember nothing why the Spencer Brand does it. Nothing
Hmm.
talk. I can I don't know if he said nothing for the only thing he said for the year for sure is that the road over by Valdermart is a good road. And okay. But there is nothing sustaining. I think he meets with the public every 2 weeks. That now come out to me. It's not I don't know if it's a streamable circumstance where it's not just that he's meeting with the public, but that you could hear the conversation. Um JD, from what I heard, is
Hmm.
going to be um more conversational. It's gonna be easier for her to have a conversation with you. She speaks well. I mean, she's a communications major. What the fuck you think gonna happen? And you can't remember nothing what Brand said. So Brand gon got an uphill battle in his ass with regards to captivating. Okay, yeah, me tell you who Brand remind me of. Brand and Hensley in a the same category. Them man and Sean and them man, you can't remember nothing what them man say. Them man just up there talking. And that's
But
just
you
what
see,
if you
but you see, remember, women are bad leaders. I always keep saying this: women are bad leaders. Like for whoever politician, if they are female, just don't walk with a man. Because the other day I hear somebody who supposed to be running for politics or walk through some village and they say, "Yo, don't walk with your father. Don't walk with your father." It means you say don't walk with a man with you. Yeah. So I don't move on because we ain't got much time and I want to touch base on the marijuana topic. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, Yason is here and other people here will want to talk about marijuana. You don't know. Yeah, and tell me, Alan,
okay.
you're the liar, you're the judge and the
Listen, hey,
juror, everything.
no, me not everything. Me just Alan. No, here's what going on now. And this
Hmm.
is part of the thing now, okay? Um, you would hear me last time I was on the show. I said I feel like the premier need to calm down, need to take it easy in life. And I listened to his show, and the premier spoke how the premier is supposed to talk. The premier is supposed to bullshit me, but the premier got to talk to me nice. The premier can't be angry. Don't be an asshole. Left that for the topics. You understand? You take it easy in life. The premier came on, the premier had a nice tone. Even when he was talking about the mandatory and so, all I feel you. Premier made some comments with regards to marijuana, right? Which
Yes.
is the fucking problem with the fucking premier. And these is the upsetting things with the fucking premier. Now, here's what's going on. The public would have started to call in and people asking questions with regards to what going on, how come police are pull up cheap? Police come in on me yard the other day and pull and take up this. What going on with the legislation? He ain't know how much you forgot. He don't know. He is also frustrated by the fact that the legislation has not come online yet, since they would have discussed it since 2018 and it is now 2021 and nothing is happening. And he brings it up regularly and the Prime Minister brings it up, but nothing is happening. Now, listen, what the fuck? The Premier trying to tell me. He trying to tell me he as a senior minister bringing it up. And the Prime Minister is bringing it up and nothing is happening. From since 2018, my boy, you lose the case and ball out and talk about you need extra 30 days and we going now and you ain't give us nothing and talk about you're frustrated because investors are calling you and they want to do studies and so. Personally right now, I know somebody who would like to do a study and ain't even the kind of study what I would like to do. This ain't a recreational marijuana study. Pan some kind of chemical within marijuana he feel like they could use to deal with I think is gastric cancer. Some kind of cancer like in your body. Pan want come through and deal with it. Willing right now, serious thing. But what going on is the same thing. And I am in the position where I'm just a regular civilian. When you're the fucking premier, you can't come on and say bye. You know, from since 2018, you're trying to do this thing. I just tell her vote for me last year to put me in again. And I still can't do this thing. When he would have come on real talk before the election, he would have talked about the inability of the government to do anything with the Boundaries Commission, even though they had the majority, and even though they let it 5 years run down, and he would have talked about how he brought it up, and nothing is happening. So, all this man doing in these fucking meeting is down there. Let me bring it up. And nothing going on. For these length of time, one of them, the Boundary Commission issue is from 2015 until now. The marijuana issue, he said, is from 2018 until now. Nothing fucking going on. Because
you remember during the interview, right? He had said, if he was what? Remember because you gotta listen keenly to what he's saying. If he was him as the leader, the prime minister, his first 6 months he would have do whatever. And I like, huh? You gotta be a leader to do that, so you're trying to tell me we putting you down there and you still can't get shit done, so you got to get leadership.
It come back down to what I'm saying as far as the inner. Okay, you recall I tell you, he don't know about health, but his skills that he will gain as a liar would allow him to do certain things to still manage health. One of the skills what he learned, what I tell you, is arguing, putting together an argument, building consensus. You check. He ain't down there making deals for these things to happen. He ain't building up the leverage to say, bye, you really need this cannabis thing. Because, you see, and the front end to it, he like could deal with you on the front end and then say, and then in the back got some bullshit to say to him. Because this is the upsetting thing. He would have said, we really need it. And then at the end, he said, but I must admonish the people who go downtown in the square and blow smoke in people's face. First of all, Ain't got nobody down in the square. Hold on. Let me see what I got to say. Ain't got nobody in the square blowing the fucking smoke in the back face. They ain't want to identify which part is spot there. Since they know how to identify, me not so neither, but ain't in the fucking square. When you're in the square, you see people in there jump the fuck from 10 o'clock in the morning until night. You see people in there pissing up themselves and vomiting up themselves in the fucking square. You ain't hear nobody say, well, alcohol is an issue in the square. You want to hear about blowing smoke in people's face. You ain't going nowhere right now and nobody blowing no smoke in your face. If you're in an area where people smoking, you won't smell weed. Nobody blowing no smoke in your face. And this is part
it's just the derogatory way of saying it, like, you know what I mean? Just giving it up, like Danu saying the weed bad, it just putting you as the person making the weed look bad. If you understand what I say is in this scenario, but for a man who talk on a radio show for 14 years, supposed to more talk than that.
And furthermore, not even more talk than that. Just get this fuck done. And okay, let me show you another thing. Because I don't say this thing. Neighbors have its own laws. We call them ordinances in different areas. If the government is saying we're going to deal with herb in a different fashion, why the premier don't get his own team for Nevis to come up with its own ordinance to deal with marijuana? Why make we always got to wait on every fucking thing? How come some time we can't even try something? Why? We just got to wait. It's always a federal issue. And if it's a federal issue, big man, people fucking vote you or put you in so that you can make an impact down there. It seems like what he tell himself is, my only goal was to get out, doggy. But we want more than you get out, doggy. You down there now. You're in the position now. Make things happen. One of the questions I would have asked him to, because right now, if the Constitution is not amended at this moment in time, this government right now would be the biggest failure of any government where you could talk about in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because no, but the only other government what could have changed the Constitution when Dougie win 8 million. And right now, they're in there. See ya, time a pass, they got enough time with COVID. And they ain't doing shit.
Yo, during the COVID is only fortunate to keep an election. So I waste my time buying my son track shoes. You understand me? Right now, me and my son doing regular video calls to teach him how to play domino. Because it look like it's that's what working. I can no longer teach him how to play football, do athletics. You know what I mean? I'm teaching him right now to play domino. Cause it look like when something will work, like I say, keep it going, keep the momentum or whatever. Yeah. Nobody want to change up nothing. I love the diversity of people doing cricket and other stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's all about mind and soul and body. You check it out, because you can't be promoting a health war. You understand me? After look, my son home now. You understand me? After look, you talk about obesity and all that stuff there. But look at the backlash you're giving towards my future, as in my kids and all that type of stuff there. You check it out. So I go teach my son. I go teach my son to play fucking domino.
As you talk about a health work story, right? I see the Prime Minister does have a health work once a month, and I would just like to tell the Prime Minister, I think the Prime Minister needs to do the health work like twice a day. No, he ain't got to be the big one. You know, the one where you do once a month, he got to take a lot of pictures and say, well, a lot of people come with me. But he needs to do a health work twice a day. He needs to do he needs to get a and walk a dog in his ass. I don't talk about
But
obesity. Yeah.
but hold on, no. He better than one iguana at all. He better than one iguana at all. So if you're doing it once a month, he better than one iguana at all.
Jason, one
Because
time, that
mhm,
that
because we fall in line. Yeah, that's what I mean. We like who say we like right now the term we like to use the term right now, lead by example. But we fall in place that we have to take orders now when we were leading all along. So it look like everything is a monkey see, monkey too. You know what I mean? I know you ain't got much time, but I'm just saying that in a nutshell. So take it away.
hey, Jason, I tell my brethren because I make a post. And I tell my brethren, he said, I, I I hear you Prime Minister emulate wealth. No, I make the post and I say, go ahead man, threaten the people and them, tell them they got to take the vaccine. So he said, bye. I hear your leader and follow mine. And I make a comment and I say, bye yeah. Cause leaders are bound to follow, you know. That the kind of leaders them way look like we got. And yeah, me tell you the big problem. They only want to look at these other countries when it's good for them. When you start to tell them, well, look this country I do this, they tell you they don't want to hear that. They start to tell you no. This is a sink it's a Nevis thing. But then when they want to say mandatory vaccine, is St. Vincent is the example that the Prime Minister bringing.
But you know,
That's
see,
it.
but you know, see the Prime Minister make the vaccine mandatory, and what will happen? Mother Nature get mad. Mother Nature get mad.
But
Man,
it's rough.
get out of here. You know what I mean? Innocent pay for the guilty. But
Um,
it is what it is. I don't know what else I have to say, but you know what I mean? It's that time around the corner right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also I gotta big up Shots Bar, second coldest drinks in the Federation. Yeah man. Anyway there. Somebody tag him. Say tag Shot on Daniel. Yeah. Yeah, man. So it was a pleasure having you guys. You know what I mean? I'm grateful with the comments, etc. You know what I mean? Any critics, etc. You know what I mean? You could also, you know what I mean? If you have anything you want us to talk about, you could inbox me or Alan just for the topics only. Cause Alan find kind of shy right now, so can't really disturb a man while he's shining. So just want to say bless up to everybody. Alan, you got anything to say?
Just good night to everybody. It was a nice show. I feel good to be home. And again, go
Are you feel
continue.
good, event?
I say what I got to say. Hey, come on to say what I got to say. I feel good. So good night to everybody. We'll see you again in the next 2 weeks. Maybe I'll see you sooner. Maybe me and Jason gonna see you sooner than the next 2 weeks. Hopefully.
Yeah, but me gonna try get
Um,
me forehead shine that day because my forehead kind of dry like me for the old makeup.
alright, alright. So
Yeah.
you got the master control. We shut it down.
Yourself, give thanks for health and drink a liquor rum.